In this video, I'm very quickly going to show you how to use Microsoft Forms to share a questionnaire or survey or quiz with somebody or a group of people. So all you need to do is go onto Office 365 and you'll end up with a screen that looks like this. And then you need to find the Forms icon. If it's not there already on the screen, then just click on All Apps and you'll be able to find it. So now I've opened up Microsoft Forms. I've got a couple of options. You can see that I've got some surveys on there already, and they're sitting under My Forms. I can see forms that have been shared with me by somebody else, and I can also see group forms. Now, it's these group forms that if you want to particularly put them into one of the teams that you've set up. So if you wanted to set a quiz for a class, or you wanted to set up a questionnaire for some students, and you already have a team set up through Microsoft Teams, then you can directly post the form into that team. So all you would need to do is, if I wanted to put one into the Year 12 maths team, I could open that up and then I'd be doing a new group form, or I could do a new group quiz, and I just need to go through and follow the process. Now, I'm not going to set up a group one at the moment. I'm just going to set up a simple form, but that is something that you might want to investigate if you do want to share a form with a group that you've got set up on Microsoft Teams. It's a nice way of keeping things a little more tidy. If that team is already set up, for example, with the Year 12s that you've been doing the live feedback for. So I'm going to go back into My Forms, and again, I can select from New Form or New Quiz, and they're both slightly different in what they offer. So I'm going to just show them to you very quickly separately. So if I click on New Form, it's as simple as then editing it, to be perfectly honest. So you can call it whatever you want, test form or test survey. You can enter a description of what you want to do, and then you can add in images and things like that. But you can, the most important thing is that you basically start to add questions, and you've got options, multiple choice, free text, some sort of rating, or a date, and you can get quite involved with this, but I'm just going to show you the simple one and you can play around. So if I wanted to add in some text so that they could put their name, then all I need to do is that, and then there's a text box for answer, and I can select whether I want them to be able to give a long answer, so increase the length of that box, or a short answer, and I can say whether it's a required field or not. If it's a required field, it means they won't be able to submit the form unless they filled that question in. You can add in subtitles and various things, and again you can complicate it with branching your questions, but then I'm going to stick with the simple option. So once I go off that, the little asterisk just tells me that it's a required field. I just click add new. This time I might want a multiple choice, and I can go in and edit the options, change the text if I want to. And obviously you can hover and delete. If I want to move this question above the previous question, I can use these arrows here, so I could move that now and it's now question 1, and the names move down to question 2, or I can move it back again. I can then make it a required one or not. I can allow for multiple answers or not. And that's really as simple as that, to be honest. There's a rating one where they can give a star rating for something, so you could possibly use this quite nicely for what we were talking about in terms of getting the students to rank something in some way. Is quite a nice way of doing it, and it's as simple as that, really. So once you've finished your quiz, you can preview it, your quiz, your form, you can preview it and see what it looks like from a computer and from a mobile device, and you can then go back, and once you're completely happy with it, you can just go to share. Now you've got an option here, only people in my organisation can respond. So that's with anybody with a @sjb.surrey.sch.uk email address will be able to log in and give an answer to that. And if I want to copy that link, I can. And then I could paste it in an email to some students. I can change that drop down to anyone with a link. So if I don't mind who's going to answer it, or and I don't mind, so for example, the webinars that I've been doing for parents, I want to have it beyond our organisation, and therefore I've had that link open there. And then I can copy the link and paste it in an email. You can collaborate and find links that allow other people to edit the form directly itself. So if you wanted to share something with your department so that somebody else in your team had editing rights to the form, you can do that through this option here. You can also duplicate it if you want to. If you wanted several things, if you set up one form and then you wanted to use it again multiple times with different groups of people, you can duplicate it. But it's as simple as that, to be perfectly honest. So what will happen is you'll share the link somehow, and then eventually you'll want to find the results. So you go back into forms in exactly the same way, and you'll see your survey is here. Now, there's no responses to this survey yet because I've only just created it. But I can see if I click on the dots here, I can copy, move, or delete. If I click on it, though, I'll open it back up. And what I want to do to find the responses, I go to the response tab here. Now, what will happen is if the survey is being completed, then there will be data here. And this option here, Open in Excel, will download a spreadsheet that contains your results so that you can then analyse them and do whatever it is that you want with them. The second thing I'm going to quickly show you is the quiz option. And essentially, if you click on this, you'll see the difference quite quickly. If I go to add a new question, I've still got the same options here. But if I go into choice, then what it does is if I put in question 1, I have an option at the end here. So I might have a multiple choice where one answer is correct and one answer is incorrect. And what I can do is I can select here that that's the correct answer. And if I want to, I can give a message to those people who select that answer, or I could give a message to the incorrect answer. And I think there's a number of different ways that you could use this to set up quizzes, multiple choice quizzes, doing some sort of those low stakes assessments that we talked about. I know we've got lots of different platforms for setting up quizzes, but this is quite a quick way as well. And again, you can have multiple choice, free text, a rating, or whatever you want. And you do exactly the same thing to get the responses. You click on the response tab and you can basically access the data here or open it up in Excel. And to share it, you do exactly the same thing. You click on share and you copy the link and you make it available to the students. The only difference if you are using the group forms is that you won't need to share it directly with the students. It will become available in their team for them. I hope that's been useful and gives you a chance to have a go at using Microsoft Forms to share some things with the students.